It's time to make basil pesto.
Come with us as Alex and I harvest this basil and go and make some basil pesto.
And we're gonna make a tomato pesto galette.
Yes, it's gonna be so delicious. Come join us.
First comes harvesting the basil. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive this time and go further down the stem, but still cutting above a node where two leaves meet. That means this plant still has plenty of growing opportunities this summer. Alex keeps cutting, so we have at least 2 cups of basil.
Look at all our basil.
Let's go inside and make some pesto.
Let's do it.
We start by washing our basil in a bowl of cold water. I pluck the leaves off the tough woody stems because they can be a little bit bitter and ruin the smooth, creamy texture that we're going for. Give it a good swish to remove all the debris, lift it out of the water, and lay on a clean towel to air dry. Time to gather all the ingredients and make some pesto. Our washed basil has been sitting to dry for a couple of hours, and now we measure about 2 cups of packed basil. It's fine if it's a little less, or in my case, a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I've never seen a Nona that measured her basil.
Yeah, there you go. Nona didn't measure, why would we, right? We are using nutritional yeast today because
We forgot the Parmesan.
I forgot the Parmesan, yeah. We're using walnuts instead of pine nuts because affordability.
Yeah, and more accessible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're using fresh garden basil, like it doesn't get fresher than that. We're using a little bit of lemon juice.
Yeah, to raise the acidity and prevent too much browning.
Exactly. And olive oil and a little bit of salt. It's because we're using the nutritional yeast instead of Parmesan cheese, we may need to add a little bit more. So we're going to do a little taste testing along the way, which you should always be doing anyway.
Of course.
Right? Because the basil tends to oxidize and turn brown very quickly, we are ready and prepared with our ice cube tray and our containers so that we can package it up and get it in the freezer right away, or cover it and store it in the fridge. Let's get started with our walnuts, nutritional yeast, salt, garlic, 2 to 3 cloves.
We chop up these first ingredients, and then we go ahead and add our basil, a little bit of lemon juice, and a little bit of olive oil. Start processing and drizzle in the remaining olive oil. Within 1 to 2 minutes, you're going to have creamy, beautiful pesto. Now's a great time to have a little taste test and adjust maybe a little bit more oil, maybe some salt, garlic, whatever you'd like.
You can always add more rather than take away,
Yeah, you
right?
can't take it out.
Give it a final process.
Looks like pesto. Smells like pesto.
Tastes like pesto.
Amazing.
We did it. We are ready to load it up. We've got an ice cube tray for convenient portion sizes.
Nothing like freshly homemade pesto.
Put this in the freezer, freeze it for 2 hours, pop the pucks out, and keep that in an airtight freezer bag. Ideally, use it within 6 months after you put it in the freezer. The fresh basil, beautiful green down here, and starting to oxidize or brown. So you can finish it off by putting a little drizzle of oil on top.
To prevent the air getting to it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This homemade basil pesto is good in the fridge for 4 to 5 days. You don't want to keep it for a long time because that oil, it prevents the air from getting in there. So that makes this a safe environment for Clostridium botulinum to grow, which we don't want.
Totally not the same as the commercial pesto you would find in the store.
Absolutely. We don't have the preservatives to keep it for longer.
But we're gonna use it up.
But we're gonna use it up.
We're gonna make a tomato pesto galette.
That's coming up very soon. So make sure you check out that recipe because it's gonna be great. Make sure you use and enjoy your homemade basil pesto.
Can't wait.